Band kids are the weirdest kids that I possibly know in the entire school. And I don't get out to go through the school as much as I used to. I used to have study halls and places that I could go and see the general population, which was enjoyable to me because I want that paradigm. But band kids are just, they come in and they are just immediate friends and will act from the range of 5-year-olds to 30-year-olds that can shift in maturity and immaturity in any drop of a second. They're very protective of each other, very supportive of each other, and again, just comfortable with their beings, which to me, I describe as weird. They are just social energies that just love being around each other.
In 1926, a group of 17 students formed the first orchestra at Lockport High School. In the fall of 1927, the first marching band started practicing under the guidance of Mr. Robert Magger, who also penned the first LTHS loyalty song entitled Maroon and White Loyalty. The first public appearance of the marching band on October 18, 1928 showed off the first uniform of white slacks and shirt with a navy blue with maroon lining cape and navy blue hat. Men and women wore the same uniform, which was a progressive idea since women would not wear the slacks again in the band until 1974. And it was the first of many times that a uniform mom panicked.
We'll never get those pants clean.
In the 1932 to 1933 school year, a young director named Ernest Caneva started part-time to direct the band program. Having lived in Lockport and not much older than his students, you would expect him to have difficulties in the leadership role. But success and competence garner respect, which came quickly with the band winning their first of many state championships in 1934. The LTHS band was the governor's official band 6 times, state champions in 1939, 41, 46, 47, and 49. In 1940, 89 band students, including drum major Herbert Tatro, traveled for a 6-night trip to the New York State Fair, Atlantic City, Niagara Falls, and Washington, D.C. The band had its first performance on the U.S. Capitol steps. The cost of the trip was $83.45 per student. Buddy Lindquist took a trip of his own out of the 3rd story of the Plaza Hotel. He was fine landing on an awning. During World War II, the band included more women and bypassed competitions for concerts at the training camps near home. The band also performed weekly broadcasts and played at school dances, football games, pep rallies, parades, plays, and graduation. Mr. Caneva also founded and helped direct grade school feeder bands at St. Denis, Ludwig, Fairmont, and Cheney.
When we first walked into the band room, that was outstanding because we were upstairs on the 4th floor. Remember that?
Yes.
In the hot summer?
Yes,
And,
yes. And we had great respect for Ernie Caneva. We knew he was a perfectionist. We wanted to do our best.
In the 1950s, the band continued to compete and win. Harvard Milk Festival, Riverview, state competitions.
One enjoyable thing that we did yearly would be to go to travel up in Chicago to the Riverview, which was all kinds of rides and fun for like carnival idea. And it was so much fun. We could go and ride all day, and then at the end of the evening, we would all get into our uniforms and march around the Midway. They had a competition, and we won each time that we went.
In 1953, the band again traveled east to Atlantic City, New York City, and Washington, D.C., performing on the steps of the Capitol. The band members from the 1940s trip even helped to raise money for it. Director Ernie Caneva and new assistant director Herbert Tatro formed a perfect team of musical instruction and marching drills. A group of women marchers, the Cadets, showed off their exceptional marching skills.
Mr. Kaniva shouted at the band time and time again, and these explosions have proven worthwhile. If he had not yelled, broken batons, and walked off his podium when he began to steam off from hearing all-out mistakes, we probably wouldn't be so proud of our music department.
1954 was the first mention of the now long-standing Christmas concert performance of Sleigh Ride, adding a new level of tradition and sophistication to the winter concert. On December 21, 1957, the band gave the closing concert at the 11th Annual Midwest National Band Clinic, a gathering of directors and composers that is world-renowned. In 1958, First Chair of America, a national yearbook on outstanding bands, orchestras, and choruses in America, was dedicated to the LTHS band and even featured them on the cover.
In high school, when at the time I thought it was a real strict discipline, and it was real strict discipline. But Ernie and Herb taught us basically never be satisfied until you're number one.
And I think the band kids always were, I'm in the band. And it was just one little bit, you stood a little taller and you just strutted a little stronger than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. It's just a close-knit group.
And those that weren't in the band will say, I wish I had been in band.
Mm-hmm.
How many have said that to us?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had been in band.
In 1962, the musical Music Man was to be released, and Warner Brothers held a nationwide band competition. LTHS was chosen out of 120 bands as the national champion and official band of Meredith Willson's Music Man. The band received instruments and a 10-day, all-expense-paid tour, a prize that would have been worth over $500,000 today. The Music Man Band was featured with Arthur Godfrey in a televised show and on The Dick Clark Show. They traveled and performed in New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Coney Island, the U.S. Capitol, and the National Music Convention in New York. They returned home to a hero's welcome and performed to crowds of several thousand people. Throughout the rest of the 1960s and the early 1970s, Ernie Kaniva's band continued to travel to Walt Disney World, Niagara Falls, Michigan, and again to Washington, D.C., where they played with the U.S. Army Band and at the Pentagon to a crowd of 7,000 people. They are pictured here with Illinois Senator Adlai Stevenson III.
I think the Lockport Band has a status of excellence because of our directors. Our directors were very demanding. They rehearsed us until we did it right, until we got it perfect.
They continued to rack up victories through Mr. Kaniva's retirement in 1972 after 40 years of success with the band. At the time of his retirement, Mr. Kaniva had also composed over 70 band compositions, including the music for our current Lockport Loyalty. Miles Verkerker had huge shoes to fill when he became LTHS band director in 1972. Assisted by the choir director Richard Stanley, LTH Band was once again led to victories and travels. In the 1970s, the band participated in multiple parades, 11 to 18 per year. They traveled to Winnipeg, Canada, Daytona Beach, Florida, a 6-day tour of Washington, D.C., including the 4th performance on Capitol steps and at the Pentagon. In Winnipeg, the band was in the National Canadian Manosphere Total Band Competition, including both concert band and marching band. LTHS took first place in both areas, as well as being named Grand Champions. In 1985, Mr. Vokerka was approached by Paramount Studios to be the band featured in the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They practiced with choreographer Kenny Ortega for hours upon hours in August. They rehearsed for one day in Chicago, then filmed the Vom Steuben Day parade scene in Chicago on another day. Movie director John Hughes was very cordial to the band as they performed the dance moves to Twist and Shout by the Beatles and had a special look into movie making. After the 1985 to 1986 school year and 13 years at LTHS, Mr. Vokerka moved on. Daniel Velkema was hired as the director of band and chorus in 1986.
When I started, there was no history of a competition band. It was a parade band and a football game band, and we started the field competition, and we kind of ventured into that very carefully and cautiously, a little bit at a time.
Under Mr. Velkema's direction, the band continued to prosper. In 1988, LTHS band took first place in Class A Midwest Marching Band Championships and had 40 performances, including halftime at a Chicago Bears game. In the fall of 1989, the LTHS Marching Porters made their first appearance in the State of Illinois Invitational Marching Band Championship. Marching band competitions were transitioning from parade style to field theatrical style, and in 1990, the Color Guard had their first theatrical costume. 1990 marked the first ever Illinois Super State Concert Band Festival. This invitation-only annual event is the premier concert event for the finest band programs in Illinois. The LTHS Band has had an ensemble invited every year since, and were named the Honor Band in 1999, 2006, and 2014. In 2016, the LTHS Band program had two ensembles named Honor Band, the Covey Freshman Band in Class 1A and the Wind Symphony in Class 4A. During Mr. Velkema's years as director, the band took a trip every other year, and destinations included California, Virginia Beach, and Hawaii, with 150 students performing in matching Hawaiian shirts. In 1993, LTHS Band was chosen for their first Bands of America National Concert Festival, and they would again be chosen to participate in 1996, 2000, 2006, 2008, and 2016. Mr. Velkema left LTHS Band in 2001 after 14 years of service. In 1994, an assistant band director position was added, and over the years, George Pirard, Tony Svezda, Melody Baliki, Brett Davidson, Amy Gear, Anna Mudrock, and Andrew Beckwith would all add their expertise and passion to the LTHS band instruction.
As a student, I came in having very high expectations, having heard of the amazing legacy of the program here. And so I felt very well prepared going into college, going into another music program, having come from such a strong musical background. And I have to say, even going in, when people would ask where you're from, and you'd say Lockport, their eyes would light up and go, oh, I know of Lockport. When the position for assistant director opened up here, I had to apply for it, and I thought, wow, what an amazing feeling if I were to get it, to be able to come back home and share my love for music where it all began, to bring it and share it with other students.
Karen Fannin was director from 2001 to 2003 with assistant Mr. Brian Covey, who became the band director when Miss Fannin left in 2003. Under Mr. Covey's direction, the LTHS band program in the 21st century continues to grow and flourish.
We currently offer 5 curricular bands, and the curricular bands are the staple of our program. It is what we build our day upon. Everything else is outside of the school day, and every student has the opportunity to. When students come into Lockport Township High School, they are awarded into one of 2 freshman bands. If we have enough, we'll split them. If we're sitting around 60 to 70 students, we'll put it in one freshman band where Andrew and I will team teach. Andrew Beck with the associate director. From there, the students audition into the East Campus bands. We have 3 East Campus bands, and it is all pure ability based. So freshmen have equal opportunity. It's whoever is the top performer at that current time is awarded that particular spot. It's all ability based, and it's all performance based. Everything outside of that, our marching band, our jazz bands, our pep bands, everything is co-curricular, meaning any student can participate if they so choose to be. Any student at LTHS enrolled in the program is eligible to do that. And we have an expansive guard program right now, which is sitting around 60 students, which is inclusive of students outside of the band program who just enjoy dance and the patriotic arts.
LTHS band program continues to be one of the most respected and decorated programs in Illinois and in the nation. An every other year band trip is available to those who are interested, and the band has traveled to San Francisco, New York, Dallas, Orlando, Los Angeles, Memphis, Nashville, and Atlanta. In 2008 and 2013, the Lockport Wind Symphony was again invited to present a featured concert at the Midwest International Band and Orchestra Clinic, an honor extended to only 4 high school bands in the world. In 2008, the Lockport Band Program was awarded the prestigious Sudler Flag from the John Philip Sousa Foundation, recognizing significantly high standards of excellence in concert activities over a period of years. The Wind Symphony was also selected as national winner in the Mark of Excellence National Wind Band Honors Project in 2013. 178 entries from 35 states were evaluated, with the LTHS Wind Symphony being selected as one of the national winners. In 2012, the Wind Symphony presented a concert in Carnegie Hall in New York City. The marching porters have transitioned to the field competition, with the marching band shows that involve props, color guard costumes, and a theatrical presentation and theme. In 2013 and again in 2015, the marching porters placed first in Class 6A in the Illinois State Marching Band Competition at Illinois State University. The marching porters also advanced from local to regional and national competitions through participation in Bands of America events held in St. Louis, Kansas City, Louisville, and Indianapolis at the Lucas Oil Stadium. And in 2013, they were a national semifinalist.
I think Lockport has had a long history of excellence due to consistency and the longevity of its directors. It's amazing. Ernie Kneva there for 40 years, Miles Vokurka, I believe, for 16 years. I was there for 15, and Brian Covey for 15 years. And the program has been going on that long with relatively few directors, and very few programs can say that. So there's that consistency, longevity, and the recognition and maintenance of high standards along the way.
The directors have that relationship with the kids that, again, they get to know them very well, and the kids see them more as people than, humans, than teachers. And they develop a relationship where they do have that mutual respect.
The support for the Lockport Band Program is really endless in a plethora of capacities. And we've experienced this from an outstanding booster group that has been functioning for years beyond when I was selected as the director. I won't give a fiscal amount, but let's just suffice to say I've never asked for anything that the boosters have not said yes to. The administration has also grown into a completely supportive and proud organization. We've been recognized at the Board of Education countless times of resolutions for material successes, individual student successes, and they want to celebrate that. There's not a place that we have asked as a Lockport Band Program to go visit, to experience, to play, to travel to that we have ever been told no.
In the band boosters, has evolved. I just started out helping to build the props, and then eventually, chairing the spaghetti dinners and the pancake breakfast, and then moving on to become booster president. And it is always a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. There's no doubt. There's a lot of time spent at the school, but it's been very rewarding to meet the kids, to meet the other parents that work so hard to raise the money that Mr. Covey spends.
I think one of the greatest opportunities about being a parent of a marching band or band student in general is that we develop a bond with our kids because we're at the same events that they are, and it gives us that opportunity to develop that relationship. And I'm not sure that there's a lot of parents of high school students that can say that they have that kind of relationship with their teenager.
When we go to competitions or when we go to performances, just because we can't take them. So now we have individual traveling and what we call fam packages that come along as well. Just people that want to be around the program. So the support is endless, and we're humbled to experience it.
Well, for somebody that's not real sure, is kind of leaning on a post whether they should or not, don't let people call you a nerd, because sometimes that's usually what band members were considered nerds. Just remember, the people that are saying that to you will not have the experience that you're going to endure going through high school and doing your trips, playing concert, learning music. Some music you're not going to like, some music you're going to love, and you're just going to practice that much more because you like that particular parts in the music. So don't let somebody else steer you wrong. If it's something that you think you need to do, then you should, because it's really fun learning an instrument.
I would give students and parents the advice to go for it. If your son or daughter plays an instrument, get into music. Music is the key to success.
No matter what you do in life, the disciplines that you learn in school playing a musical instrument carry over.
And if you don't start young, it's much more difficult to start later in life. I have to thank my father, because he was a very faithful person to bring me to Lockport to band and come back and pick me up from band for 4 years. He was not musical himself, but he loved music, so he was very supportive to me to keep me going there.
And I think as musicians or involved in music too, even in our churches, we tend to go to the music part of the church, and there again it creates another circle of friends.
Well, my freshman year, I made the mistake of, instead of marching band, I joined soccer. And though I love soccer, sophomore year is when I decided to stop doing soccer and join marching band again. And I really regretted my decision freshman year. And because marching band, I mean, I love marching band. You get to meet so many different people, and soccer, it was okay. I mean,
it was awesome because like later on in the year, then you start to like get to know people from like other ages and other sections, and sure enough, by the end of the year, you have a ton of friends, and you've just had a lot of time working together on the field.
We all spend like during the summer 50+ hours a week together. So, I mean, and then when we get on the big fields, like so many people have like anxiety attacks, and it just takes a large group of people to calm one person down. Like
memories from band trips on the bus.
Oh, spring break! Spring break! You also wake up and you're just like in like a ball of people that are all just like in a weird ball, like everyone just like not cuddling, it's not like that cute. But like you're all just like, you'll wake up and like someone's leg will be on you, like you don't care, like you're all just one person, I feel.
From band, definitely the one thing that I've gained is identity. Like I had not known before what I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I spend all of my time here basically. It's either here or at my house. So I've gained a sense of identity for who I am and what I've become.
Everyone in band, you spend so much time together that no one judges each other, even though you know you all have differences, and everyone kind of has each other's back because you're like brothers and sisters.
Once you get into band, it's really nice because you don't ever have to look at your phone or anything like that, because everybody you text on your phone is already there. So it's like you don't have to worry about anything except the people that are there right then, and it's like they're all together and they all love you. So.
3 things I gained from participating in the band. Number 1, fun.
Being in a band really has changed my life. You meet so many persons, you know.
When you're walking around the halls and you see like the cliques or whatever, or you think you're being judged or anything, or no matter what's happening, like with the rest of the high school, you always have band to come back to. You always have this locker room, this band room that, it's kind of like your little safe haven, your little sanctuary. Everybody there. No matter what's going on, maybe something's going on in your home life, or something's going on in school with a teacher or a bully or whatever it is, you always have this band room to come back to. And, it's been a huge part of, my 4 years being able to come back here. And
Number 2, instant friendships.
And if I could list something that came out of band that was good, would be our lifelong friendship.
And it's been a long time.
And meeting 2 nice men for husbands.
Yeah, right.
I made a lot of friends freshman year. My boyfriend of 3.5 years now, I met like the first day of band, so that was pretty cool.
If I had to list 3 things, I could list 1 right away.
Yeah, nice answer, good answer.
And number 3, discipline.
Most of the persons I know have something to do with band, and I'm glad. It's really great.
We still communicate with each other, Facebook, email. We have alumni gatherings. We select a night, we go out, and most of them are all from the band.
I have a ton of lifelong friends that I'm glad I made because of the band program.
The friends you make in band are the ones that you have forever. You're never going to really forget anybody.
The music aspect of it is just a reflection upon that. So all the work, the dedication, the time, effort that goes into the high-level performances that we provide for our students, or that we share with our students, it really all centers back to creating solid human beings that can go out and thrive and flourish in their communities. The biggest skill that I noticed that students will learn is confidence. Confidence in their being, confidence in their performance, confidence in just their aura. Not all the students are going to be successful at doing a 4th position plie and a 4th position grand plie, and knowing the differences between these. But once they start to understand that they can perform through this, and they start to work as that team, I think they exit just with a little bit more confidence, and they enter other events with a little bit more confidence. So their musical strength is going to grow. They're doing simultaneous tasks, 2, 3, 5 tasks at a single time. And I think that that's going to portray into their personal lives too. So their relationships they would have with their peers, relationships that they would have with other grown-ups, with teachers, boyfriend, girlfriend, parents. I think that they just have a more trust in themselves to develop into stronger character beings.
Lockport Township High School Band, a legacy of artistry, accolades, and friendship.